I know you probably want to talk about Brooklyn, but let me ask you something about the game. At least how did you think the players came out of it physically?
Good physically. A little choppy, but that was to be expected. We cut back minutes on some guys who try to get a little bit more so they get a little bit of rhythm. But overall, I was pleased, obviously, with the way we started the game. But we have a lot of things we have to clean up.
About Joe.
Having a playoff situation like this where you have two guys coming back from injury, still limited minutes, you don't know how well Joe's going to be.
Yeah, I think it's a big plus. I'd prefer to have him for 30 plus minutes, but the fact that he's back is both he and Taj is a big plus for us. So whatever they can give us, I'm confident it'll get better and better as time goes along.
Is your mindset at this point to still play him off the bench, work him in until conditioning?
Yeah, it's just trying to figure out what the best thing is in terms of where his minutes are. We may adjust it as we go. I still want to think it through. I was, he didn't score, but I like the way he was moving out there.
As far as Brooklyn, who's going to be your matchup, give any thought to at least how those games went during the season and how you feel the matchups are?
Yeah, I don't put a lot of stock in that. They're really good, and they're the higher seed, so they earned that, and we're going to have to be ready. I think that they play hard. You're looking at Lopez, with low post presence. You have Darren Williams off the dribble. You have Joe Johnson off the dribble. And then you have a lot of other guys that are very, very good basketball players. And so we have to be ready for them.
Do you think 3-1 edge?
Sorry.
Do you think a 3-1 edge in the regular season has any bearing going into the series?
I think there's probably, like to the outsiders, there's probably more stock in that. To the people on the inside, like oftentimes during the regular season, there are a lot of things that go into when you're playing. Are they on the road? Is it back-to-back? Is it 4 and 5? Do they have guys out? Do we have guys out? So there's a lot of variables that we look at. And I think it's more how you're playing at the end of the season and who's healthy for you. And, right now, they're a good team, very good team. They hit a lull at the beginning of the season when they had their injuries. But they're tough. They have size. They quality depth on that team. So we're going to have to play a complete game.
They have playoff-tested guys on that team. How much of a difference does that make for playoff?
Well, I think it's a plus in some ways. The only way you get experience is by getting there. And so I think our guys have some experience too. And I think knowing your opponent well, being ready for that first game, I think that's huge.
I know he played tonight, and it's good to have him.
Yeah, well, that's the one plus I think from Joe and Taj being out. I think that got Ozzie into rhythm. And he's done a great job all year, just working, even when he wasn't playing, the way he handled himself, and the way he kept working on his game. And then when the opportunity presented itself, he was right and ready. And so he took full advantage of it and he played extremely well. So that's, that helped carry us when Joe and Tosh went out.
I know you say the playoffs are different, but clearly you had success against the Nets. And what were you able to do well in those games to win against them?
Well, the thing is, they were tough, hard-fought games. Sometimes it's make or miss. So the last game we won, I thought we played well. They played well too, and Lopez got a good look at it. Make or miss. So we got to be ready.
How do you feel about your team's regular season getting 5 seed with so many injuries this year and playing the whole year without Derek?
Well, yeah, as I said before the game, I thought the Derek piece we knew from the summer. It was going to be a long process. So that one you can plan for. And yeah, you can't replace Derek individually. You understood that. I think the team did a great job of understanding that. And the only chance we had was by doing it collectively and playing with great intensity. Now the part that we didn't know was all the other injuries. And then the challenge was that we knew the core of the team was really good. We felt very good about that. And then the new guys coming in, the challenge was how quickly could we get them onto the same page. And that's always a challenge. And so I think they responded to that very well. So overall, obviously there's things that we feel we could have done better. But I also think that we did a lot of things well.
Tom, you mentioned Nazi and his kind of emergence with Joe down and stuff. Does that almost demand more playing time than you would have anticipated originally once you get into the playoffs? Or is he still a matchup guy?
Well, it's good to know that, he's there, because in the playoffs a lot of things unfold. You may have injury, you may have foul trouble, whatever you may have. You may have a matchup that's good. So I think he's confident. I think his teammates are confident in him. And I like his experience.
How much will his strong play down the stretch factor in your decision as whether or not you bring Joakim off the bench in the playoffs?
Well, it's a combination of how much can we play Joe. So you're weighing that also, so that plays into it. But whether he starts, comes off the bench, I think he can handle both. I know Joe can handle both. And we have to maximize what Joe can bring to our team.
So you don't know Joe's number for game one yet? It's been 14, obviously, these first 2 games back.
It may have been.
Tom, is it something with Joe? Is it something that there can't be a plan because he has to kind of tell you every day how he feels?
Yeah, during the game he feels fine. So it's more, and I think I'm hopeful that he'll get better and better as we go along. This is just, it's the type of injury where he's going to have to try to manage it as best he can.